Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Whittier Street Health Center's 12th Annual Roast. Now let's bring on our Toastmaster for the evening, Boston's own funny man, Mr. Jimmy Tingle.
Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, God's children. How is everybody tonight? Beautiful. Well, how about a round of applause for yourselves coming out tonight on behalf of the Whittier Street Healthcare Center, folks. That's right. And the great Tom O'Neill, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. Right now, it's my job to introduce our head table tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to start things off by introducing the honorary roast chair from Somerville, Massachusetts. He's a guard, the point guard of the Massachusetts delegation. Please welcome the great Michael Capuano. From Malden, Massachusetts. Is he here? Okay. From Malden, Massachusetts, please welcome the honorary roast chair of Forward from Congressman Edward Markey. Please welcome from stage right, the Honorable John Broder. I did not know his hometown. Please welcome a man of the cloth, ladies and gentlemen, a man of the cloth, the Ambassador Charles Stith. Please welcome to the stage, ladies and gentlemen, a man of the media, a mogul in his own right, ladies and gentlemen, the Honorable Peter Smythe. And please welcome a funny bastard in his own right, ladies and gentlemen, the Honorable Flash Wiley. And please welcome, ladies and gentlemen, from the Whittier Board, please welcome Mr. Gerald Walker. And now, the CEO and President of the Whittier Street Healthcare Center, please welcome the lovely, the talented Frederica Williams. And ladies and gentlemen, a man that owes us all money. Please welcome the great Tommy O'Neill. welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the podium, Frederica Williams.
Thank you. Good evening. Welcome to the Whittier Street Health Center's 12th annual roast, our signature event and a special way of saluting incredible individuals whose vision and efforts make our community better. The Tom O'Neill Party is a roast for our Master of Communication, Tom O'Neill, the President and CEO of O'Neill Associates. Tom has been an active supporter of our roast and has served in several volunteer positions to help to advocate for resources for the communities we serve. When Tom first visited Whittier a few years back, he demonstrated a genuine and thoughtful interest in our mission. That was the beginning of a special relationship which I believe will be long-term. Tom was personally involved with the planning of this roast because he believes in our mission and wanted to make sure that we met our fundraising goal so that we can continue to provide services to our patients regardless of their insurance status or their ability to pay for services. We are honoring Tom for his commitment, dedication, and service to vulnerable and underserved populations. Tom understands that every dollar invested at a health center provides an average saving of $3 to the overall healthcare system, and that your investment in Whittier will make a direct positive impact in the lives of thousands of indigent patients. Tom, the Whittier Street Health Center patients, staff, and board of directors are very grateful to you for your passionate commitment to healthcare. Thank you for agreeing to be roasted by a great panel of roasters, Flash Wiley, Reverend Charles Stith, Speaker DeMacy, and Congressman Mackey. I know that with this great lineup of roasters and our Toastmaster Jimmy Tingle, we're in for a wonderful evening. I also want to thank all of you for attending our roast and for your support of Whittier's mission to provide high-quality, reliable, and accessible primary health care and support services to diverse populations, to promote wellness, and to eliminate health and social disparities. With your support, Whittier will be able to realize its vision to serve as the premier leader in urban health care to diverse populations. Our staffs are working diligently toward our vision of a healthy and thriving community. We realize that this is a far-reaching goal that must be achieved one family at a time. We are committed to eliminating racial and ethnic disparities in healthcare, moving the communities we serve from reactive to preventative well-being, ensuring effective, seamless, and equitable care to all community residents, providing and advocating for equal access to quality services, increasing access to health screenings, early detection and treatment, empowering all members of the community through education about wellness and prevention, facilitating a behavior change in the community, and providing high-quality, cost-effective health care. Special thanks to our guest auctioneer, Mayor Thomas Menino, our honorary co-chairs, Congressman Michael Capuano and Congressman Edward Mackey, our roast co-chairs, John Brodeur, Peter Mead, Michael Sheehan, Peter Smythe. Special thanks to all of our roast committee members for helping us make connections and raising funds to help make this event a successful fundraiser. Many thanks to our lead sponsors, Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Massachusetts, Partners Healthcare System, Children's Hospital of Boston, our benefactor Liberty Mutual, our patrons, Sovereign Bank, Brodeur, John Hancock, Suffolk, our contributors, Abbott Personnel Consulting Services, Abbott Real Estate Development, Bank of America, Boston Medical Center, Citizens Financial Group, Diversified Staffing Group, Greater Media Inc., Harvard Pilgrim Healthcare, Hill Holiday, James Michael Conley Associates Inc., McGills and Associates, Neighborhood Health Plan, Northeastern University, O'Neill and Associates, Pegasystems, Rasky Berlin Strategic Communication, the Chickering Group, the Flatley Company, the TJX Companies, Inc., Tufts Health Plan, VP&E Parking, and our partnering sponsor, the Boston Health Net Plan. I would also like to extend deep gratitude and special thanks to the Richard and Susan Smith Family Foundation for their generous support of our diabetes clinic. Thanks to all of us table sponsors, friends, elected officials, and supporters. Through your participation in this evening's event and your generosity, we will be able to provide services to 12,000 people from 20 different countries and address chronic illnesses such as asthma, cardiovascular diseases, diabetes, depression, and HIV/AIDS. Your support helps us in our journey to saving the lives of the community we serve. Thank you. Thank you. At this time, I would like to invite Peter Mead of Blue Cross Blue Shield of Massachusetts, one of our Rose co-chairs and a dedicated and long-term friend of Whittier. Peter and Blue Cross Blue Shield of Massachusetts have consistently supported Whittier's mission, and we're grateful to them for their support. Thank you, Peter.
Good evening, everybody. We're here tonight to honor a man that I think everybody in this hall loves and respects, Flash Wiley. And there are two or three people here because they like Tom O'Neill a little bit. I'm here to be the straight man tonight, to talk briefly well, actually, Tom asked me to come and say grace, but we decided I shouldn't be the one to do that anymore. For those who have been to Whittier Street and have seen the work that is being done, they are amazed and impressed. I mean, think about this. Blue Cross is here. The CEO of Tufts, Jim Roosevelt, is here. Charlie Baker from Harvard Pilgrim is here. Deb Enos from Neighborhood Health Plan. People in the hospitals, people in health insurance, people in other health centers know and respect the work that Whittier does. It is first-class service for everybody. And for those who work in healthcare, and for those of us who believe that everybody in this country should have access to healthcare, Whittier is a first-rate example of what can and should be done. Many of us have been privileged to be at Whittier, and if you haven't, I'd like you just to look at this video for a couple of moments and you'll get an idea of the work that's done at Whittier. Let's roll the video.
The Whittier Street Health Center is a premier urban health center focused on eliminating racial and ethnic disparities in healthcare. And so our goal is to close that gap and make sure that folks have equal access to the highest quality of care.
It starts with good health. So we see health being, a basic necessity.
What's important to us is that patients feel comfortable and they're able to provide us with the information we need, but they feel comfortable asking questions as well. And part of that is having a staff that's very diverse.
Patients that we see really sort of feel like they have an ownership of the health center, that they know that this is part of their community. It's a very different feeling from walking into one of the hospitals where they don't feel like part of their community. It's sort of a very different feeling to come in and see the same lab tech who's been here for 15 years. And I know that if I want to talk to the person at the front desk, I can talk to Maria and she'll take care of my appointment, and I know it's not going to get messed up.
We really are on the forefront of clinical care. We are not happy with just providing sort of everyday basic care. We want to provide excellence.
¿Ustedes saben las instrucciones?
No, lo que pasa es que no me saquen la sangre, yo no puedo mandar mi
Whittier was one of only 3 health centers selected nationally to participate in a National Cancer Screening Dissemination Demonstration Project, and we're going to be focusing on colon cancer, breast cancer, and cervical cancer.
There is a large disparity still. Women of color tend to have and so they have a worse stage of the disease when they present. What's really phenomenal about Whittier Street is a comprehensive pap smear screening and management program. We're able to actually treat the patient right here in the health center. And that's because the health center has, one, provided the doctors to be able to do that.
Some people say there's the ABCs of diabetes. All right, the A is the hemoglobin A1C.
Major projects that we're very proud of that staff members have taken the leadership on at Whittier is our Center of Excellence in Diabetes. Our diabetes program has been nationally recognized by the Bureau of Primary Health Care as a Center of Excellence.
The more knowledge that people have and the more they're involved in their own care, the better they wind up doing. And we've got incredible numbers that show there's a tremendous improvement. Blood pressure control and other things like that have all improved since we've been using this care model.
I tell you, they beat up on you when you don't do the right thing. But that's a good thing because they care. They never gave up on me, which I like because they always encourage me. But they get to the point where it's like, I can't do nothing for you no more if you don't work with me. They're here to make you become a better person.
Our men's health clinic is the only men's health clinic in New England that is focused on addressing the health issues of African American and Latino males, and it makes a huge impact in the lives of the people that we serve.
The care that they received from the staff upon leaving the health center, one of them called me and said that this was the first time that he had accessed care, and he was made to feel like a human being. Relationship that we've established in the communities that we serve, it's one of mutual respect.
What is provided here is unique not only for Boston, but I think as a health center model nationally, in terms of being on the forefront, becoming a center of excellence for medical care, but yet being in the community. It's unique, and it's needed.
The main reason that I work here is because I think I make a difference here. You sort of see that every day pretty much, that people are very grateful for having long-term care, for having the opportunity to have a physician that they've had for, again, 15 years now. It's a very rewarding feeling to know that you're making a difference in people's lives.
Whittier's blessed to have a lot of wonderful friends, a lot of wonderful donors, people that have invested in what we believe is a worthy cause. We couldn't do the work that we do without the support of our donors. All of our friends out there, they make the difference. This is a worthwhile investment in a community that is being educated, being empowered. They are saving lives.
As far as I can say, you can't ask for anything better. Here, they truly, genuinely care about their patients and the outcome of their patients. So that's a blessing from above that, you can't thank them enough for what they've done.
Thank you. Thanks very much. For those who were at Fenway Park today, how many people here were at Fenway Park and watched the Red Sox win? No one. Everybody was at work. Good. You were making money, and we'd like a little bit of it, a little more of it. There are envelopes on the table in front of you. If you could look for them. If you haven't given, and now that you've seen the video and say, gee, I'd like to, there's an opportunity for you. If you had said, I should have given more, there's an opportunity for you. If you really think that they make a difference in people's lives at the Whittier Street Health Center, please, there's an envelope in front of you. You can make a difference. It's first-rate health care with first-rate management for first-rate people, and there are a lot of those people in this hall who are first-rate and would like to ask you to participate again, if you don't mind, and look at those envelopes, and if you can contribute, we would be very grateful. Thanks very much.
Please welcome to the podium the Honorable Ambassador and Reverend Charles Staith.
Jimmy, thank you for that extraordinary introduction. We're here tonight to support Whittier Street Health Center. Let's give it up one more time for Whittier Street, please. Jack, like those of you here tonight, Whittier Street is one of my favorite charities. It's one of the strongest institutions in our community. So, as I sat in my office about 4 or 5 months ago, and my office assistant paged me and said that Frederica Williams is on the phone from Whittier Street and she wants to talk to you, I was eager to accept that call, Congressman. And after we exchanged pleasantries, she said that we are about to prepare for our annual event, and I would like so much for you to be a part of it. And I, of course, responded I'd certainly be honored to. She said the event this year is our annual roast. We'd like you to be a part of the dais, and we are roasting Tommy O'Neill. And I was speechless. Actually, it was a shocker. Tommy O'Neill. I mean, I hadn't seen the guy for 20 years. I thought he had moved. Tommy O'Neill. You know, going out, man, I hope they set real low targets for the event. And then she said, we'd like to start the evening off with prayer. Now, I'm a preacher, and prayer is always appropriate, but I'm going, prayer at a roast? I mean, I've never heard of starting a roast with prayer. I mean, does it mean this is going to be some kind of mercy killing tonight? I mean, you know, prayer at a roast, are we praying that some folks show up so that we can make some money? And prayer at a roast, I mean, does it mean that this guy's going to be such an easy mark for cheap shots tonight that it's going to be like shooting fish in a barrel? That was my best line, folks. But we're here tonight to skewer, scandalize, lambaste, lampoon, grill, and drill Tom O'Neill. What do you say about a man who is admired, revered, and loved by everyone? Well, I can start by saying that he's not the man we're honoring tonight. In the few minutes that I have left, let me turn serious for a moment. Jimmy Tingle, in introducing the dais, referenced Congressman Capuano as the point guard of the delegation and Congressman Markey as the forward And the sports analogy works in another way, particularly when I think about Tommy O'Neill, and that is, and I'm sure all of us who have gathered here tonight would agree, that he is certainly one of the go-to guys in this community. I've known Tommy a tad longer than 30 years now, and he is one of those people that I've not only been able to count on personally to be supportive in the various initiatives that I've tried to effect in this community, but I've seen him time and time and time again step up to the plate to fill voids of leadership along the way. And I can say without equivocation this evening that my life has been enriched, my friend, by our friendship. And this city in which we live, this Commonwealth, and our country are all better off because of the service that you've extended over the years. And so when the call came, it was not why Tom O'Neill. It was like simply when and where, and I can't wait to be there to say, I love you as much as everybody in this town does. God bless you, my friend. Now, let us pray. Lord God, thou who art great and gracious, merciful and mighty, we give thanks for this day. We give thanks for the leadership of Tom O'Neill and for the service of Whittier Street. We give thanks for this room overflowing with affection and a sense of esprit de corps. Bless this food that we're about to receive for the nourishment of our bodies, and we pray that as we grow stronger physically, so might we grow stronger in our love of thee and one another. Let the whole room say amen.
How about it, folks? A warm round of applause for the great Ambassador and Reverend Charles Stith. As Toastmaster, it's my job now to give my blessing. You may eat. Mike, see ya. Good job.
Would you like some wine?
I'm all set. But so I'm sitting here waiting. Didn't say me to get up there.
I love you. Well, I think I might be the one you're supposed to do. No, you.
Well, well, well. How was that meal? Pretty good, huh? How many people still eating? Right now, it's, are we having the dessert now? Is that what I hear? Is the dessert being served? It is. Okay. As you get your dessert, folks, I'd like to try to get your attention here to the podium. We have a special guest that's going to come up here, and he's at every function in this city and in this state, I don't know, for the last 12 years, I guess, anyway, right? 14 years. 14 years. He is a tireless advocate for the underdog, for the working class, and in this case, for the people who need health care in this city and in this state. Please, ladies and gentlemen, a historic figure, the longest-running mayor in the history of the city of Boston, the great Tom Menino.
Thank you, Jimmy. It's really, thanks for putting the lights up. Put the lights up now. Lights up, please. I'm in charge of the auction,
He's the mayor. Do what he says.
or else we'll close this place down. The reason why they have me as the auctioneer is I've proven on many St. Patrick's Day breakfasts I'm not funny at all. I have a problem with my phonics. I have a tough time telling a joke, but I think I'm pretty good at raising money. Who raised their hand? Let me just, before we start this auction, we have 4.5 good gifts. All right? Now, everybody raise both arms. Raise your arms like this. Everyone, that means you all could bid. Nobody has a problem raising your arms, right? Okay. O'Neill, what are you doing? Huh? I'm taking notes. You're taking notes. Okay. And where's Peter? Is one of the folks I have out in the audience. And John, where's John? Right there. Both those gentlemen are going to help me. The first item we're going to bid is priceless. Priceless because a lot of people try to get into my office and can't. But you can have breakfast with me. Breakfast with me, 2 other folks at the Parkman House. And the starting bid is not my self-imposed number, but Frederica said $1,000 to have breakfast with me. 1,000 there, right there. Oh, $1,200 there, right there. Do I have $1,500? $1,200 right there. $1,200 there, $1,500. Come on, if you bid it, $1,500 back there. Do I have $1,700? 15 there. Do I have 17? You want $1,200? Go 17. Where? 17 right there. You can tell these are all developers. $2,000 right there. $2,000. $2,100. We have $2,100. 2,000 right there. 2,000. 2,100. Jack Corners. $5,000 right there. $2,100 right there. $2,100 right there. Do we have $2,200? Do we have $2,200? $2,200 right there. Do we have 23? 22 out there. 23 right there. Do we have 24? Bob, why not 24? 23 over there. Bob, 24. 23 over there. 23. You've been against yourself. 24. Do I have 25 out there? 25. 24. 24. 25. Do I have 25? Do I have 25? 25 way back there. $2,500 back there. $2,600. Do I have 27? 26 right there. Do I have 27? 26, 26, 26. 26. Going once. 27. $3,000. You have 3,000 out there. 3,000. I can't see anything. 3,000. 3,000. Anybody have 3,000 out there? 3,000? 3,000 someplace over there. Raise your hand. $3,000. $3,500 right there. $3,500 right there.
Nice.
Do I have 35 there? 4,000. 35 right there. Do I have 4,000? 35 right there. It's a charitable contribution. Remember that. $3,500. Next year's taxes. 35 there, 4,000. There, 4,000. 3,500 going once, twice. Sold to that gentleman right over there. What's your name, please? Oh, it worked. All right, we have two golf packages here. One's worth a lot more than the other. And I'm not going to tell you which one's worth a lot more than the other. The first one is golf with Joe Campanella, president of Sovereign Bank at the New England Open PGA. It's a Pro-Am tournament. Play the practice round on Monday, September 12th. Complimentary accommodations and dinner at the Wolfboro Inn in Wolfboro, New Hampshire. And you're playing on Monday, September 12th. And the suggested opening bid is $2,000. Oh my God, what are you complaining about? I'm not God, I'm just a bidder. $2,000 right there. You got your hand up. Do I have 2,000 out there? 2,000 right here. Do I have 2,100? 2,000 right here. Do I have $2,100 out there? $2,100 out there. 21 way back there. Do I have $2,200? Do I have 2,200? 21 right there. 21 right there. Do I have 22? It's the best, which doesn't tell you a golf course. $2,100 out there. Do I have 22, 22, 22? Lake Winnipesaukee Golf Course, best golf course in New England. I guess no one wants to play golf with Joe. $2,100 out there. Do I have 2,200? You might get a loan from him if you have a company that needs some trouble. 2,100 out there, 2,100. Going once, twice, sold back there for $2,100. All right. Oh, wait a minute, what's he doing? Where's his heel? All right. That's one golf trip. Now here's one that's really valuable. A luxury box for the April 18th Red Sox game includes 14 luxury box tickets, 1 parking pass, indoor and outdoor seating behind home plate, appetizers, soft drinks, beer and wine, and a private bathroom. So it's 14 seats. I'm only doing what they tell me to read. Suggested bid $2,500. That's a great opportunity to go see one of the great luxury boxes. Do I have $2,500 for that? 25 right there. Do I have 26 over there? Do I have 27, 26, 27? Do I have 27? 27 right there. Do I have $3,000 right there? 3,000 right there. Do I have $3,100? 3,000 right there. After 31, 3,000, 3,000, 3,000, 3,100, 3,100 right over there. Do I have 32 over here? 32, 31, 31, 32, 32 over there. Do I have 33, 33, 33, 35?
33.
35 out there. Do I have
35
right there.
What?
35. Thank you, Peter, for doing some work. 35. Do I have 37? Do I have 37? 35, 37 right there. Do I have $4,000? Do I have $4,000?
4,000 over here, Mr. Mayor.
Thanks, Peter. You must want your advertisers? $4,000 right there. Do I have 4,000? Do I have $4,100? 4,100? I think I don't know. 4,100, 4,000 right there. Where? Where?
4,100 right here, Mayor.
$4,100 where?
Mayor, 4,100.
42, Mr. Mayor.
42, 43,
43.
43 back there. 43 back there.
44, Mr. Mayor.
What?
44.
We're at 43. You're late, Peter. Want to go 44?
Want to go 45?
44.
44.
45.
45 back there. Do I have 46? 45 there. 46. 45. 46. 45. 45 going once. Peter, guns go 100.
46, Mr. Mayor. I got 46.
Do I have 46? Do I have 48?
47?
48, 48, 48, 46 over there. 48, 48, 48, 46.
He's staying at 46.
Well, if he's one of your accounts, tell him to leave. 46. 46 over there. Do I have 48? Do I have 48? 46 over there. Going
47?
once.
Huh? 47? No?
Twice.
47?
46.
That'll do it.
Who said 46?
47?
46 back there.
47.
They're playing around.
47?
46 sold that gentleman back there.
That's box seats.
46?
Now, this is not on the sheet they gave me. Senator Diane Wilkins said that she'll take you for breakfast on a Sunday morning after services. And services end about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So you have to make arrangements with Senator Wilkinson to go for breakfast.
Yeah, you had a good time though, right?
Do we have $500 for that? $500 to have breakfast with Senator Wilkinson? I don't know who's paying, but $500 right there. Senator Joe's paying $500 right there. Do I have 600, 600, 555?
Mr. Mayor, I got Joe right here. Keep going.
He's $500. $500.
be here?
Do I have $600?
$600.
How much? 500.
Joe's in for 600.
600. Do I have 700? Joe, keep on bidding against yourself. $600 right there. Do I have 700? 600 right there.
Yes, sir.
700. Do I have 700 right there? Do I have $800? 7 going once, twice, sold to Joe.
Joe, congratulations. You just went for 700.
I can't see him. All right, here we go.
One more?
We got another one, Peter. Don't leave. 4 seats on the right field rooftop.
Oh, that's good.
They're very nice.
Very nice.
The package includes a specialized, personalized scoreboard message and dinner
I like that.
and drinks for 4 in the team's exclusive Crown Royal Club. Another thing is Cocoa Crisp cereal is going to have an autographed baseball for you.
Very nice.
Autograph baseball.
This is worth at least $1,000.
I think I got a guy back here I'll ask.
$1,000 right
Okay,
there.
Red
Do I have
Sox, let's
$1,100?
go.
1,000
I'm
right
sorry.
there. Do I have $1,100? 11 right there. Do I have 1,000? 1,100.
Anybody back
1,000
here?
right there. 1,000. Do I have $1,100? 4 seats.
There you go. How much?
$4,000 right there. Do I have
Mayor, where are you?
where?
It's
How much?
$1,000.
I have 1,000. Do I have
What do you got?
1,100?
1,100 right here.
$1,100 back there. Do I have 1,200?
1,200?
1,200. Do I have $1,200?
Everybody at the table
out
split it
there.
with you.
1,200. I have $1,100. $1,100 there.
You
Do I
guys
have-
want? You got to go.
I have the baseball right
Here
here.
it is. You want to do it? Oh,
Do I have $1,200 here? Why don't you split it up amongst 3 of you? That's $300 each. $1,200 right here. $1,100 once, twice. Sold back
Pull back
there.
here. Right.
Congratulations.
All right.
Mark Ansel.
Now here's a good one. The person you're roasting this evening. This will continue another night, another day. Tom O'Neill has offered to take 3 folks to Oakley, TPC, or Eastwood Ho. You have your choice, one of the 3. He'll buy you lunch also. So this is priceless. When Tommy O'Neill's spending money, it's priceless. He's always spending somebody else's. So do we have anybody who wants to give? What's your pleasure out there? $15,000, $5,000, $1,000, $100?
With Tom O'Neill.
Cosmo, you better get into this bidding. You can start with the company, Cosmo.
Anybody back here?
Huh?
Hang in there, Mayor. I'm still
1,000
looking.
1,000 here, Mayor.
Where's 1,000?
1,000 right here.
$1,000 back there. Do I have $1,200? $1,000. Do I have $1,200?
$1,200
over there. Do I have $1,300? 12 right there. Do I have 13? 12 over there.
13 here.
13 over there.
13 here.
13. Do I have 14?
13 there.
13 back there. Do I have 14? 13. 14. 13. Do I have $1,400 right there?
14.
Raise your hand. 14. Do I have $1,500? Do I have $1,500? Do I have 14 right there? 14 right there. Do I have 15? Do I have 15? Do I have
You got to
15?
buy now.
That's 14. Do I have 15?
1,500 right here.
$1,500 right back there.
1,700 right here, Mr. Mayor.
$1,700
1,700 right here.
$1,700 right there. Do I have $1,800?
What, 18?
$1,800 right there. $2,000. $2,000.
I got 2,000 over there.
Do I have $2,100 out there?
2,100, Mr. Mayor.
$2,100. Is that your money? Is his money?
Not mine.
$21 there. Do I have 22? Do I have 22? 22 right here.
22 back here.
Do I have 23? Do I have 23? 22. All right, I got a deal for you. Hold it. Will you pay $2,200 for this? Your bid, $22 you want? Jimmy O'Brien, $2,200, right? Will
Jimmy
y'all guys
O'Brien's
pay
at 22.
$2,200 too? No, two separate packages. Abbott Property, will you pay $2,200 also? Abbott Property?
He's at 22, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, we'll have two 22s. We'll have 2 rounds of golf for Tommy O'Neill.
Great.
These are these 3 golf courses.
Great,
Thank
you're
you
done.
very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Congratulations.
See you on the share. Get out of here. Hey, Peter. Peter, what are you doing? Peter, you should donate a tour of your radio stations.
I should give a you know, we should do a sitting with Lauren and Wally.
What?
Sitting in with Lauren and Wally in the morning.
Oh, yeah. Oh, hey, this is a real great offer. Lauren and Wally, they've been on the air for 30 years. They've been around longer than I have. You can go sit in their program.
Correct.
And have a great morning, and Peter will buy you donuts and coffee and juice.
Absolutely.
So that's priceless. That's really worth a lot. So with 2 people, right?
2 people.
$500. We'll start at $500. Everybody want $500 for that?
Lauren and
Wally in the morning. Kevin, are you awake there? $500 out there. Anybody have $500 to see Lauren and Wally?
I got 500 back here, Mr.
$500
Mayor.
back there. Do I have $500 anyplace? Nobody
Anybody
likes
back
Lauren
here?
and Wally. Lauren and Wally right here. Do I have $600? $500 right there. Do I have $600? $500 right there.
Mr. Mayor.
Where?
Right in the middle.
$600 back there. Raise your hand. Raise your hand. $600 someplace. Do I have $700? Do I have $600 right there? Lauren and Wally, great show, 30 years of the year. $600 back there. Going once. Anybody else? $600 once, twice. Sold for $600. Thank you very much.
Congratulations. Nice job.
Good job, Mr. Mayor. Okay. How about it for the Honorable Mayor Menino, ladies and gentlemen? All righty. Well, that brings us to the part of the show, or the evening, where we're going to start to introduce some of the roasters. And these guys are great. They're all donating their time to come out here tonight and have some good fun with Tommy O'Neill at Tommy's expense. And this guy, he's a hard guy to roast because he is an incredibly generous guy. But these guys are going to do their best, and I'm sure it's going to be great. And I asked this first gentleman, I said, what would you like me to say in the introduction? He says, I don't care what you say, just don't say I'm an asshole. Ladies and gentlemen, this next guy is no asshole. He's the Speaker of the House. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the great Senator DeMasi. Representative DeMasi.
I'm an ass. Is that what he said? What did you call me? I'm from the north end of Boston, you know. We'll be sleeping with the fishes tonight. Jimmy, what's black and blue and floats face down in the river?
What's that?
People that call me an asshole.
I said he was no asshole, ladies and
Oh,
gentlemen.
I misunderstood. Did I say that? I'm sorry about that. No reporters here, right, Cosmo? Very sorry to see that the mayor had a stomachache tonight. Didn't it sound that way? No, no one's laughing. They all fear you, Tom. I did too. It's St. Patrick's Day. I didn't say anything about you. I left you out because after I said something about you the year before, my taxes went up. My street was filthy. The lights on my street didn't work. I got about 100 parking tickets. And I thought it was because you were mad at me, and then I realized everybody else lives like that in the city, too. Only kidding. It's not an election year for you. Really is great to come up here and make an ass out of yourself, really. Tommy O'Neill, that's your name, right? A lot of people don't know this, but we were in school together at Boston College. He started a couple of years ahead of me, and we graduated together. You like that? I sat down the other night, Tom, and I tried to think of something funny to say about you that was politically correct and I could say in mixed company. That didn't work. Then I try to, compare you and what similarities you have with your father. That didn't work either. But really, Tom was a friend in college. He really was. And every Friday night, all my friends and I went down to the Tam O'Shanter. Remember the Tam O'Shanter, Tom? Anybody remember the Tam O'Shanter? Jack Connors, you remember the Tam O'Shanter? He owned it. They got a stool down there named after you, right, Jack? And I always say to Tom, now that he's very successful in life, I say, usually you say a lot of hard work went into it and everything, all of the studying you did, but in your case, thank God your father was born before you, Tom. Because you'd still be a waiter at the Tam O'Shanter. What a head of hair you have. What do? You stick your finger in the plug every morning? What? Mr. Mayor, I think he needs a building permit for that thing. Really? I always wanted a head of hair like that, Tom. Till I saw your nose. Yeah. Tommy O'Neill asked me, he said, how long are you going to stay up there? I says, it's long enough to kick the shit out of you, that's all. And there's plenty of that in him, believe me. You do look like a movie star, really. It's a movie I saw you in. What was it, Pinocchio? Yeah, no, he really is a little similar. His father was a great man. He had a great slogan. He said, all politics is local. And Tommy has his own saying, all clients are billable. Any clients out there get a bill from him? Raise your hand. No wonder why you didn't bid on anything. So he's begging me now. I like that. No more. You were, I was trying. He likes to do things his father did, like try to play golf, right? Anybody who's ever played with him or his father, I remember, people, you all know by now, by reading the Globe last year, that I'm a pretty good golfer, right? They wrote a big story, and they paid thousands of dollars to take a helicopter over to take a picture. I would have let you in the friggin' gate, for Christ's sake. And then they said to me, after reading the article about my golf game and exposing me playing 11 times in 6 months, they said, were you upset? I said, you're right, you bet you're right. I really was upset. They said, why were you upset? I said, it should have been in the sports page, for crying out loud. Tom, you're a good golfer, I know that, right? Yeah, he plays mulligan golf. Yeah, he has, his father, he's good out of the sand trap. Anybody ever see that video? One day we had a legislative tournament down in Pocasset about 25 years ago when those were legal. Sonny McDonough once said it the right way. He says, politics was fun until they made it a crime. So we were down there playing at the Pocasset Country Club. Statute of limitations is 25 years. I got it. And I happened to get up and I hit a nice ball about 250, 260 down the middle, and everybody said, "Nice shot, Sal." And there was the Speaker of the House, Tip O'Neill, and said, "Hey, Sal, I guess you don't spend too much time at the State House, do you?" I said, "Mr. Speaker, with all due respect, it's called natural athletic ability, something you wouldn't have anything idea about." Same thing with you, Tom. I hear you have trouble with your preferred lies. Like I'm a good friend of Sal DeMacy's. Anything you want, I can get for you. Marky's laughing. I get it. Okay. He has some interesting clients that screwed up my district, like Bechtel. Yeah. He, there was, what was it? Everybody said, "Were you upset about the leaks?" I said, "At the State House?" They go, "No, in the tunnel." I said, "Of course not." They said, "Why?" I said, "It's perfect. After all that construction, all those years, I get a swimming pool in the summertime and a skating rink in the wintertime. Thanks to Tommy O'Neill and your client." They named one of the leaks after him, the Tommy O'Neill Fountain. I'm going to get off soon, really, Tom. This is torture for you, I know. Really. Stop hiding behind there. I really appreciate all of the years of friendship that Tom and I have had. He really is a good friend. He's one of those guys that wouldn't leave you in the lurch, right? Always comes in the back door of my office to give me some confidence and advice and bill a client afterwards. But seriously, folks, I really am going to end there by saying he really is a good guy. He's done an awful lot for a lot of good charities. He's been really a close friend and a good friend for many years. I admire him. He's been extremely successful, but he hasn't forgotten how to help people, and that's important to me. And that's why I'm here tonight for my good friend, Tommy O'Neill. Thank you for having me.
Oh, man, Tommy, that's your good friend. He is an asshole. Man. Good thing we're not friends, huh? Oh, man. Well, this next guy, ladies and gentlemen, this is the dean of the Massachusetts delegation, folks. And he has been working tirelessly on behalf of the people of Massachusetts for 30 years in Congress, folks. 30 years. And he's talking about hopefully getting back the House of Representatives for the Democratic Party where it belongs, ladies and gentlemen, to its rightful owners. Wait, scratch that word, owners. To its rightful. Please welcome, ladies and gentlemen, the great Ed Markey.
Thank you, Jimmy. So this is a big night, and I've known Tommy for 40 years. Like Sal and I and Tommy were all at BC at the same time 40 years ago, which is an astoundingly long time ago. And what I decided to do to honor Tommy tonight, because his reputation is national, is to ask some of Tommy's friends down in Washington if they could each give me, their estimation of how much they admire Tommy and his career thus far. And I just thought I'd actually bring them right into the room tonight, right here, so that you can get their view of Tommy. So first, Condi Rice. Condi Rice's view of this much. this much, you know. But I decided to get a second opinion. Another close friend of Tommy's, Donald Rumsfeld, asked him what his view of Tommy was and his career. And the same Dick Cheney, what does Dick think of him? And you know, and this is a city, this is a team that's on message. So I asked the president, Tommy O'Neill, what do you think, Mr. President? You know, just to get the view. I decided that maybe, you know, Tommy is too democratic, too partisan. So maybe I'd go to an independent branch, the judicial branch. Ask the judicial branch of their view of Tommy. So I went to Justice Scalia, asked him for an independent view. Now, you know, I don't know, Sal, Tommy, could you interpret that for me? He said it was like an international gesture of goodwill towards Tommy. I don't know, I couldn't interpret it, but we had the same, you know, background. We've known each other for 40 years, went to Catholic high school, went to BC together. We even shopped in the same store in the late 60s and early 70s, Men's Plaid Warehouse. We were very fashionable young men, and Tommy and I, we had a very strong sense of fashion. It even extended to his hairstyle. He pioneered a look back in the 70s that even today, 30 years later, prominent figures are still emulating it all across the country. Okay, it was a very, you know, very fashionable look, and he's had also a style for giving advice. We were young politicians together. We were elected in 1972, and I always appreciated those moments with Tommy where we would get very close, face to face, eye to eye, nose to nose, so I could get the advice from him. And I never forgot those conversations because it ran in the family. It is, in fact, and this is quite honest, a family of great men, Tommy and his father, and we're very lucky to have the two of you. And I've been very fortunate to have the two of you as my friend over all of these years. And now I'm going to tell a little bit of a story on you, Tommy, because you work here for Whittier Street Health Center, and it's one of an extraordinarily long list of charities that you help without any real acclaim. And while most people don't know about it, I am compelled to tell just one additional story about you. As you all know, Whittier serves over 12,000 people annually from an unbelievably diverse set of communities, of culture and circumstance. And Whittier opened its doors in 1932 as a well baby clinic and has since that first moment served as a safety net resource for the people of Boston and surrounding communities. To meet the explosion of growth in the need for health care services among its people it serves, Whittier moved in 1999 to its current Tremont Street location. And while the new facility has enjoyed great success, it would never have come to pass except for Tom O'Neill. Because unbeknownst to the officials from Whittier, at one point a lien had been placed on the property. So when Renaissance Park was proposed for construction, Whittier called on their friend Tom O'Neill to get the lien released, and as part of the application, a thorough title search going back to 1932 was completed. But the government official who reviewed the title search sent a letter, the relevant portion of which said, "Dear Mr. O'Neill, we received your application for release of lien. We have observed, however, that you failed to trace the title previous to 1932. This is unacceptable and violates our procedures. Before final approval, it will be necessary that the title be traced previous to that year." Knowing that the lien's release was essential for Whittier, Tommy put that BC education to use and prepared an immediate response, which I have a copy of tonight. This is the letter he sent back. "I note that you wish the title to be cleared further than I have done. Let me try to assist you, Mr. Government Lawyer. The Whittier Street Health Center was founded in 1932. Title was granted to the center in that year by the City of Boston on behalf of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. The Commonwealth received the title on the authority of the King of England in 1746. This is a true story. The English crown acquired the title by right of conquest from Spain. The title came into the possession of Spain in 1493 by right of discovery of an Italian sailor named Christopher Columbus. The good Queen Isabella took the precaution of securing the blessing of the Pope of Rome upon Columbus's voyage before she sold her jewels to help him. Now the Pope is the emissary of Jesus Christ, the Son of God, and God made the world. Therefore, I believe it is safe to assume that he also made that part of the United States, which is soon to be occupied by the Whittier Street Health Center, and I hope to hell you're satisfied. That's Tommy O'Neill. That is Tommy O'Neill in a nutshell. Now, one final thing, and I'm sure many of you have been asked the same question. Is Tommy O'Neill ever going to get back into politics again? Will he consider running for governor? You know, many people have wondered, when is that time going to arrive? And I'm going to need a little bit of help. Where were you in '82? I'm going to need a little bit. I'm going to need. Where was everybody? I'm going to need a little help from the audience so that they can. If you could just sing the chorus with me, I think it would help. And this is with apologies to the Kingston Trio. There are times that try men's souls. In the course of our nation's history, the people of Boston have rallied bravely when the Democratic Party's rights have been threatened. Today, a new crisis has arisen. The Massachusetts Democratic Party, also known as the MDP, is attempting to get Tommy to return to run for governor in order to take back the corner office. But I have bad news, citizens. Tommy's just not going to return to the world of politics. Well, let me tell you a story of a man named Tommy on a tragic and fateful day. He had 10 cents in his pocket, kissed the public life goodbye to make money the private way. Well, did he ever return? No, he never returned, and his fate has now been learned. He may rule forever through the streets of Boston. He's the man who'll never return. So Tommy handed in his suits at the Salvation Army, headed for Louis on Newbury. When he got there, the tailor told him, one more fitting, you'll look just like John Kerry. Well, did he ever return? No, he never returned, and his fate has now been learned. He may rule forever through the streets of Boston. He's the man who'll never return. Now all day long, Tommy's clients come in, crying, what can you do for me? Can you help me get a piece of the Seaport District or a park in Sudbury? Well, did he ever return? No, he never returned, and his fate has now been learned. He may rule forever through the streets of Boston. He's the man who'll never return. Now Tommy goes down to the Whittier Street Clinic every day at 2:15, and through the open window he hands Frederica a donation as the patients come streaming through. Well, did he ever return? No, he never returned, and his fate is still unlearned. He may rule forever through the streets of Boston. He's the man who'll never return. Now, you citizens of Boston, wasn't it a scandal when Mitt tried to take the name away? Everyone knows it's the Tip O'Neill tunnel. Tommy had the final say. Well, did he ever return? No, he never returned, and his fate has now been learned. He may rule forever through the streets of Boston. He's the man who'll never return. Now, why would Tommy ever want to be governor and have to give up all that power? He gets to do the good, and he has too much fun. He'll always be the man of the hour. Well, did he ever return? No, he never returned, and his fate has now been learned. He may rule forever through the streets of Boston. He's the man who'll never return. Amen.
The Honorable Ed Markey, ladies and gentlemen, the Dean of the Massachusetts delegation. And how about it for our band folks, huh? Are they great or what? Absolutely. How you feeling, Tom? What does Lieutenant Governor do? Really? Nothing? No, that's good to know. Oh, man. Anyway, let's keep the festivities rolling, ladies and gentlemen. This next gentleman, I said, what can I give you for an introduction? Just tell him that I am the best over 60-year-old basketball player in the nation. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, a power forward from Boston, Massachusetts, by way of Harvard University, the great Flash Wiley. Oh! Woo! Yeah! Okay. Woo!
Hold on, I'm coming. You know, I don't know what to say. You know, this has been a night of mixed feelings. I guess the first thing I want to say to our good friend, our senior member of the Massachusetts congressional delegation, is my compliments to the intern that wrote that poem. She did a great job, or he did a great job, whoever that is, did a great job. It reminded me a little bit of the Star-Spangled Banner. You know, there's a reason why we only sing one verse of the Star-Spangled Banner, by the way. So, well, I'm sorry. Hey, I already shared my love and my respect and my sentiments with the congressman. And I told him what a thrill it was for my wife and I. You know, we respect him. He's a man, you know, he's down there in Washington making great legislative decisions and so forth. And done so much for the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. But quite frankly, his finest moment was when I saw him on the Academy Awards, sitting up there, you know, looking good. So let's give our congressman, the handsome movie star, a big round of applause. The other thing I want to say is I know what you're all thinking, which is I'm glad I got my TiVo. American Idol's on tonight, and you know, we'll get through this at some point. But this is a special moment, and when I got the call about 7 months ago to roast Tom, I found it difficult to even contemplate, you know, because I hold this man in such great esteem, and quite frankly, I've taken great offense to the things that have been said about him tonight, the terrible things that have been said about him tonight. You know, here's a man that puts himself on the line for the Whittier Street Health Center, and while he was doing that and word was out that this was going to happen, people were coming up to me saying terrible things about Tom O'Neill. And then we have a dais full of people tonight and probably a room full of people that want to do the same thing. And I'm just offended because, quite frankly, Thomas is a hero of mine. And I know that some of you have been turned off by the thing that happened a few years back with the goat. But, you know, well, really it was a herd of goats, but that's all over now, you know, and we gotta forgive and forget about these things. You know, when you think about it, Tom O'Neill is a special person. I mean, here's a man who is a persevering soul who came from a very obscure, extremely disadvantaged background. And despite a rocky and, as I guess we come to understand, a very mischief-laden academic career, he transcended his deprived and humble beginnings and went on to distinguish himself in the unfamiliar world of politics. I tell you, it's a great American story. You know, Alger, you know, I tell you, just let's give that a big round of applause. Great American story. You know, people have laughed and joked, you know, about your peril-prone academic performance. 6 years is not too long to spend in school. Was it just 6 or? It was counting, yeah. But you know, however long he spent at that school, I just want you to know that he did graduate, and today he's a proud trustee of Boston College. And let's give Boston College a big round of applause. Actually, my wife, oh, by the way, Benny couldn't be here tonight. She's in Chicago making some money. One of us has to do it. But she sends her love. She's a trustee with you at Boston College, and she knows a little bit about your history there and you know, the transition you made from poor student to community leader. And she also told me a story about the fact that when you first arrived on campus, kind of being a kid from Cambridge, that you know, you resembled more a hawk than an eagle. And it wasn't because you looked that way. And instead of spending time praying with the priests, you were praying on some of the co-eds there, I understand. But I understand a special co-ed there clipped your wings, so that's cool too. So, and then you moved on and got yourself elected to the legislature and did a great job there. And what a part I really like about what you did, which is one of the reasons you're my heroes, is while America was fighting and we were in a time of turmoil, international conflict, you wisely and astutely said, look, I'm going to send John Kerry over to Vietnam, you know, to represent us there. And I'll stay here and make sure that nobody attacks Cambridge and the Bay State shores. And you paid your friend John Kerry back by taking the lieutenant governorship and everything and getting it all ready for him so he could use it as his platform to run for the presidency of the United States. And you're just a good guy that way. I love that stuff. You know, the other thing is, you know, a lot of jokes have been made about, you know, the fact that you work so hard and, you know, you bill your clients. You know, if you work for them, you got to bill them. You know, it's not a free world and everything. But you're not just a one-dimensional workaholic kind of guy. You're a man of many interests and facets. And a lot of people know that, you know, you've always wanted to be an athlete, a singer, and a dancer. We saw some of your terpsichoreal excellence tonight when you came down the aisle. And while some of us weren't moved by it, you know, those would be the people with the rhythm. We admired your spunk nevertheless. But what I really like is that, you know, in the areas of athletics and singing and dancing, what you've done is taken what would have to be considered no talent at all. And you've worked hard, you've struggled, and you're the noble example of somebody that has risen his level of confidence from gross ineptitude to what I say now is a heady realm of tolerable mediocrity. So I'm very pleased with that, very pleased with that. You know, I had some remarks I wanted to make about Tom that they told me this was a mixed crowd, an audience with children, and I don't see any children out there, but also people with sensitive ears and so forth. So Tom and I go stand on the corner and play the dozens later on, and we'll deal with those kind of issues. So rather than get into those things, what I will do is to get into the serious part, which is to tell you what you really mean to me, which is you're a guy that has always been a go-to upfront person. There's not a a soul in this audience tonight that hadn't been touched by your wisdom, your largesse. You're not only a character, you're one of a kind, but you're also a man of great character, and your good-natured mischief dances in your eyes, I don't know if you're going to go over the edge sometime or not, but when you do go over the edge, you do it for good things, and we love that. So I think Whittier Street Neighborhood Health Center is tremendously advantaged by your personal participation and love. You've enlarged, you've enriched all of us in the city, Mr. Mayor, in the Commonwealth by your presence. And so I want to take a crack as an African American at praising you in the melodic brogue of your beloved Emerald Isle, which is Tommy, we be better lads and lassies for knowing you. Did I say that right? Okay, I did it as best I could. Let's give the brother a big round of applause. I had some good stuff for you.
The Honorable Flash Wiley, ladies and gentlemen. Excellent, excellent. Flash, that was dynamite. Great job. How about it for everybody on the dais, ladies and gentlemen, huh? Incredible. Marjorie Clapprood could not be here tonight. Her daughter is going into labor tonight. So we'll keep her in our prayers, folks. And going into labor tonight. She's all psyched up. So she couldn't be here. But Tommy, what an honor to be here with you tonight, huh? And these people coming out. I want to just know a few things. I mean, I know Tommy as a friend, but I don't know all the inside stuff. I know a lot of what I read in the papers, How much did you make on the Big Dig? No, just roughly. Because, it officially ended. The Big Dig officially ended 3 months ago, construction on the Big Dig. It was the largest public work project in the history of the United States of America, ladies and gentlemen. It was cheaper to go to Mars than build a series of connecting tunnels under the city of Boston. Bonnie Frank said it would have been cheaper to raise the city of Boston than to lower the Southeast Expressway. Tommy was there at the beginning, ladies and gentlemen. And I brought it up to him. I brought it up to him as a friend, He said, hey, Jimmy, get off the Big Dig, first of all. He says to me, he gets very defensive about it. He goes, yes, you do. Yes, you do. He gets very, very defensive. He says, listen, the Big Dig, I swear to God, this is what he told me. I wrote it down. He says, the Big Dig, okay, it's on a construction feat on the scale of the Panama Canal, the Alaskan Pipeline, and the underwater channel connecting England and France. With all due respect to my good friend, Tom O'Neill. The Panama Canal connected the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans. Okay? They had to overcome malaria, yellow fever, 110 degrees in the jungle. Thousands of people died building the Panama Canal. Okay? The Alaskan Pipeline, okay, was like thousands of miles across the tundra of Alaska, 60 degrees below zero consistently, okay? The channel is an underwater tunnel that connects England and France under the English Channel, and by the way, it fits perfectly. The Big Dig, my friend, connects Dorchester to the financial district. South Boston with Faneuil Hall, and the North End to Somerville. Not exactly the route Magellan took on his trip around the world. Oh. But what is remarkable about the Big Dig, and this is to Tommy's credit and Modern Continental, what is remarkable is that the Big Dig worked every single day for 15 years, $15 billion every single day, construction, while the city of Boston remained open for business. That is remarkable, folks. And you got a lot of that. Now, let me just say this. And that's a good thing, because I got some of it too. But my point is this. through presidential elections, the tall ships, 3 Super Bowls, the World Series, 190,000 commuters a day. I mean, that is more impressive than the Alaskan pipeline when you think of it. How many people commute to Alaska? And I got to be honest, Tommy, I've joked about it, the big dig. I've cursed it, okay? I've cursed the urban planners who planned it way back in the 70s with you and the Duke there. And, you know, let's be honest, folks, okay? You know, and I've cursed the politicians, okay, who let it happen. I said, I lamented how the $15 billion could have been used for health clinics and building up the nation and the infrastructure of this nation and the North and South. You know what I'm saying? And then last year, I had a very interesting experience. I got in a cab at Logan Airport, and the one that connects the Mass Pike to Logan Airport, and it took me through one of those tunnels, the ones I mocked for a decade, the tunnel that connects the Mass Pike with Logan Airport. It was rush hour. It was practically empty. I was at my front door in Cambridge, Massachusetts in 13 minutes. So, Tommy, I want to say to you, I guess it was worth it. Because in the final analysis, folks, isn't it really all about me, huh? I know there are health clinics to build, Tom. What about our commute, huh? What about the people of Boston? By the way, what's going on? I love the politics of this country. I love the politics of this city. I love growing up here. If you're from Boston, man, you just have a natural inclination towards politics because all the issues are right here. They're all right here. I mean, Governor Romney, this guy could be president. But, you know, when he first ran, but he's politician. I mean, when he first ran for governor, he ran as a pro-choice candidate. Now he's thinking about running for president. He's no longer pro-choice. He says he only supports a woman's right to choose in very rare cases. Cases of rape, cases of incest, or to protect the life of the candidate. Very different. Now, the governor recently wanted to link teachers' pay to teachers' job performance. Imagine if they did that with the governor. Now, let me say this. But I have to give credit where credit is due. When Hurricane Katrina struck, the governor came together with the Massachusetts legislature, and I thank you for this. They came up with $25 million to relocate the poor from Mississippi and Louisiana right up here to Massachusetts. I thought that was a brilliant move of empathy and compassion and really an act of love. And the poor from Massachusetts are being relocated to Mississippi and Louisiana as part of a new welfare to work program. You want food stamps? Fix the levee. Just a joke, folks. Tommy gave me that joke, ladies and gentlemen. I said, Tom, what about the levee joke? Go with it. They'll love that. But a lot of lessons have been learned by Hurricane Katrina. Tom, a lot of lessons have been learned, right? Like we now have an evacuation plan. People say to me, Jim, what does the Boston evacuation plan look like? Let me see. What would the Boston evacuation plan look like in the case of a natural disaster? Well, let's do the math. If it takes one Bostonian to drive, it takes one Bostonian 45 minutes to drive 2 miles during the morning commute to work, how long will it take 5 million Bostonians running for their lives to get to Canada? What does the Boston evacuation plan look like? Have you ever seen the running of the bulls? Right over the Lenny Zacum Bridge, folks. Right up 93 North. But I see, I'll tell you what it does, and I love the stuff, Ed Markey, and I love the mayor, and I love the politics of this city because it's beautiful, and it prepares you for the national audience. For example, Dick Cheney. You know, when you're showing Dick Cheney up there, he's had some rough times, obviously. You know, shot his friend. What do you say to your friend after you shoot him? What do you say? Tommy, what do you say? Sorry. Thought you were a quail. I mean, and of course his defenders start to stick up for him. The woman, the general that was shooting with him, right? She sticks up and says, it was not the vice president's fault. The man who shot the vice president shot, it was his own fault. He failed to announce himself. Evidently, the man should have brought his own sound system with him hunting. He should have been there down in the desert with the sound system. Mr. Vice President, my fellow hunters, I have an announcement to make. I am not a bird. I repeat, not a bird. I'm a lawyer. A lawyer? Oh, but Dick Cheney, and you know politics is rough, Tom, and I know it, and everybody up here knows it. You got to be thick-skinned, and I have nothing but admiration for the people who go into it. I really mean that, because it's thick. I mean, poor Dick Cheney. I mean, let's face it. The administration heavily criticized for not being down there in New Orleans sooner. Dick Cheney finally gets down there. He's holding a press conference on national television. A guy starts heckling him. Anybody see it? It was on national television, on C-SPAN. Anyone see it? I couldn't believe it. C-SPAN, the big station. A guy, the vice president up there, we got the Army Corps of Engineers will be working with the levees. We got Brownie, he'll be distributing the bottled water over here. Some guy comes by, and excuse my language, some guy comes by and says, "Hey, Mr. Vice President, go fuck yourself." I swear to God, folks, I couldn't believe it. Turns out it was Senator Pat Leahy. Oh, it was awful. Oh, man. And I'll tell you something, folks. People say to me, "Jim, don't you dare." I got a lot of, Republican friends and relatives, family members say, "Jim, don't you dare make fun of Mitt Romney." I said, "Why not? He's going to make a great governor and possibly a great president." I said, "Really? Why is that?" "Why? Well, first of all, Jim, he ran the Olympics." I said, "So what? This is Massachusetts. We're a little different. We got the FBI protecting gangsters. We got the church protecting child molesters. We got the big dig, $9 billion over budget. We're a little different." Yeah. We're the Special Olympics. Oh, but I love it, folks. I love it. I love the issues that keep coming up, the whole immigration debate right now. Oh, I love this new guest worker program. Is that beautiful, Ed? The guest worker. Don't you love that term, guest worker? I mean, when you think of a guest, you normally think of somebody you go out of your way to make feel comfortable. You know what I mean? Fix them dinner, clean up bathroom, make them feel comfortable in the house. These guests, they're a little different. Ding dong, honey, the guests are here. Juanita, Carlos, come on in. You look fantastic. Listen, the dishes are in the sink. The clothes are in the dryer. The mop is in the closet. The broom is in the hall. The shovel's in the basement. The fertilizer's in the garage. The bulldozer's in the driveway. The kids are upstairs having a birthday party. I'm going to the gym. Make yourself comfortable. Only in Massachusetts, ladies and gentlemen, could you come up with that. And again, Tommy wrote that. But I love the immigrant, obviously, see, here's the thing, and I love these issues that are flying around now on a national level. Obviously, we're a nation of immigrants, and I think most people, I know, Tom, you've been very supportive. I know the Whittier Health Center is very supportive of immigrants. I think most Americans are very, very supportive of immigrants because obviously we're a nation of immigrants. But I believe, and I think most people increasingly are coming to this understanding that we do need accountability in the country. We need to know who's in the country, folks, and what they're doing here for the sake of the immigrants and for the sake of the society at large. Because the anti-immigration people are saying that the immigrants are taking more from our society than they're bringing to the table. Now, the pro-immigration people say, no, they're bringing more to the table than they're taking. I am suggesting, folks, a debit card to be used by all non-citizens in every public and private transaction. At the end of the month, you just add it up to see who has taken what from whom. Okay, sir, let's see. You've been here for 30 days. Let's see. What have you taken from our society? It says here that you use the public transportation, you use the public streets, you use the public sidewalks, you use the public restrooms, your children are going to public schools, and when you got hurt running across the border, sir, it says here that you, in fact, used the public emergency room. Yes, you did. Sir, you did. Sir, those are our crutches. Okay, granted, they were made in Mexico, but they're ours now. Now, let's see, what have you brought to the table? It says here that you painted 3 houses, you cleaned 13 yards, your wife babysat 14 families, you started a landscape business, you wrote a computer software program, And according to our record service, it says here you pitched 2 innings in the World Series. We owe you $4 million. And you know as well as I do, folks, you look at the immigrants, you look at the inspiration it takes to come to this country, these people would probably make very good citizens, even the people who sneak into America. Look what some of these people from Mexico do to get into America. They do like a triathlon in the dark just to pick lettuce. I mean, think about that, folks. Walk the desert, swim the river, run across the border. First 10,000 get to pick some lettuce. People say, we can't let these people in. They're taking all of our jobs. What? Are they taking our jobs, folks, or are they doing our jobs? Let's be honest. When was the last time an American citizen went for a job picking lettuce? Oh, I've never really been happy. Here at the bank. All these years cooped up in this air-conditioned office. How I've longed for migrant work. What I'd give to be out in the fields of Arizona when it's 190 degrees. Rip off my shirt, down on my hands and my knees, picking a little lettuce. But can I? No. The Mexicans get all the good jobs. I mean, you know, folks, as well as I do, folks, and I know, Ed, you're talking about this in Washington. You know as well as I do. I know the mayor feels this way. I know Mr. DeMasi feels. If it weren't for immigrants in this country involved in the restaurant business, the agricultural industries, white-collar industries, blue-collar industries, this country would starve. Who are they going to get to pick the lettuce? The Teamsters? I pick 3 heads in the morning, I'm done. Salads would be like $90 a piece. People say the Haitians were coming here for economic reasons, not political reasons. Oh, yeah, the Haitians were coming here for economic reasons? Oh, yeah, thousands of Haitians, right, were getting into makeshift rafts. They were paddling 700 miles across the ocean, fleeing a military coup and death squads in Haiti. Yeah, they're job hunting. They got resumes under their knees. We heard there was a mall out here. Sometimes, folks, and I say this to my conservative friends, sometimes I wonder how the country would react if with different types of immigrants trying to get in. You know what I'm saying? How would the country react if suddenly thousands, of Irish Catholics were floating off the coast of Massachusetts? Help! Help! I know Tommy O'Neill. How would this country react if suddenly 10,000 Scandinavian women with their tubes tied pulled up to New York Harbor on a big barge? What, are you kidding me? The Senate, the Congress, every bar room in America, let freedom ring. Tuesday, illegal alien night, come on down. Swedish women drink for nothing, come on in. President Clinton, you could stay at my place. Oh, and I'll tell you something. You know what the beauty of this is, Tommy? Do I have 5 more minutes? No? Okay. They're giving me the hook. Wait a second. I'm the MC. You can't give me the hook. We got to get out of here? They're cleaning it up? Okay. Okay. Let me just take back everything I said about Whittier Health Center. No. All I want to say, Tom, it's been great knowing you. Thanks for all the opportunities you've given me to be of service. Thank you for all the things that you do for other people. I'm proud to know you. You help me a great deal. You've always been on my side when anything has helped, even when I was on 60 Minutes. Yeah. You're looking at a guy who was on 60 Minutes, ladies and gentlemen, okay? Let me just say. And they won't give me 5 more minutes. Do you know what I'm saying? Even when I was on 60 Minutes, Tommy called them up and said, you shouldn't have fired that guy. I said, Tommy, I was not fired. They brought me in a room, said, Jim, you've done a wonderful job. We're going in another direction. I didn't exactly know what the guy was telling. I'm looking at him going, where you going? Well, we're not going anywhere, Jim. You're going back to Somerville. Thank you so much, folks, for coming out. Thank you, Tommy O'Neill. Please welcome Frederica back to the stage. Is that okay?
Thank you. Thank you, comedian Jimmy Tingle. That was very funny. Very interesting. Thank you. Thanks to all of you for gracing our event, and thanks to all of our roasters, roast committee members, roast co-chairs, and special thank you to Mayor Tom Menino. The auction that he did just raised $20,000. And so today, with all of your support, we've been able to raise more than $400,000. So thanks to all of you. Thank you, Tom. Thank you. At this point, I'd like to invite our board chair, Gerald Walker, to join me so we can say a small thank you to Tom. He's been a graceful roastee. He's sitting there. I'm sitting next to him. He's enjoyed all of the jokes. And we thank you for sitting on the hot seat and being so good about it. Thank you, Gerald Walker.
With friends like that, I don't know. Tommy, Whittier is blessed to have a friend, and we regard you as a true friend. And we would like to present you with a little token.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. We also have another gift for you.
You do?
Thank you.
Well, you
Master.
can't give me enough gifts.
Yes. Oh, good. Okay. I know after this, right? Yeah. Okay. We have this plaque here, Rose for Tom O'Neill, Master of Communication. Thanks, Tom, for being a master in supporting us, your friends, Whittier Street Health Center, April 11, 2006.
Thank you.
And now Tom gets to respond to all of those roasters. Thank you.
Just sit down and relax, everybody. That poster is going to hang in my brother Kip's house. That was really a kind of caricature of him and not me. He posed for it. He posed for it for any number of hours. I just want to say thank you very much to all the people from Whittier Street and all of you. Jimmy Tingle, who is simply fabulous. He gets... I want you to know he gets $2,500 an hour for doing the Democratic shtick. He gets $1,500 an hour for doing the Republican shtick. And that wasn't funny either, Jimmy. I just want to tell you, the levee joke came from Charlie Stiff. Oh, God. It was a wonderful evening, starting with the mayor. Thank you very much for just a terrific evening, Tom. It was, they tell me you broke all the records tonight for that auction you did. It was great, over $2,000. That's about all I can say about Tom, because his folks out here, Mike Knievy and Seth Cattell, have said, if you say anything more about Tom, there are like 82 things you can't touch because you'll upset him. And I'm not going to touch any one of them. I want him to be my best friend for a long, long time. But Mayor, it's always great to have you, and for your leadership, it's simply great. Not only for the Whittier Street Center, the year after year after year, which you come back and you make your contributions and provide the leadership which you do is simply great. To Sal and to Eddie, I must tell you that this is a true story. I got 3 diplomas at Boston College. I was in every graduating class from 1966 through 1982 or something like that. We sit every year at the Board of Trustees meeting at Boston College. Jack Connors, who's just left, is the chair. And every September at the first meeting of the Board of Trustees at the school, we kind of go around the room, around the table, and reintroduce ourselves to the new members coming on the board. And invariably, everybody says the same thing. I graduated in 1972, and you know, if I were held to the standards today that these kids are held to today, back then I couldn't get in. And every one of them, 25 or 30 people say the same thing until it gets to me and I say, you want to know something? I couldn't get in then. And we have all these classmates that just kind of scratch their heads and say, O'Neill is on that board. How in heaven's name did he get on that board? And it was about that hard background that I came from, that log cabin that I was born in, that self-taught home that I was brought up in, that I grapple so much for, that my friend Sal DeMacy referred to and Eddie Markey referred to. You guys are great friends. Eddie Markey wouldn't be here tonight if the press wasn't here. I know that you all know that you were going to have fish and chicken for dinner because Ed Markey put out a press release tonight that said he was going to have fish and chicken for dinner, and it's one of the great things that is kind of press office generated there tonight. To Sal, who, like Eddie, is a great leader at the local level, Eddie at the federal level, deserves a round of applause for this latest piece of legislation which came out on health care for all. It's a national showpiece of state legislation, and he really does deserve great credit for the leadership which he provided. So as my friend Flash Wiley said, give it up for him, he means that. I also want to talk about, that one-armed bandit bill that he pulled. I mean, that was great. If it wasn't for the Progresso Club in the North End, actually we'd have some racetracks left. Sal did great in providing leadership for that Progresso Club that has 6 one-armed bandits, and he wanted to make sure that everybody else was not going to get one. And for that, Sal, we want to thank you very much. There are 4 of us in the room that get the joke, but it's okay. It's okay. Reverend Charles Stith, he and I have known each other for 40 years. And when we were kids, I was invited down to Providence, Rhode Island to hear, and I must tell you, the greatest sermon I ever heard in my life, given by this man right here. And he has never, ever, ever let any of us down. He has provided great religious leadership. He has provided great political leadership. When you're looking for sanity in the community, and I'm talking about the at-risk community, all you need to do is look for Charlie Stith because he is there. And he's just been a great, great leader and a wonderful friend, and I thank you very much for being here and giving us the invocation this evening. To Benny Wiley's senior partner, I must tell you, Flesh, we call him Fleshless, actually. He says that he's a lawyer. Yeah. Good God knows what he does. We kind of sit in the back rooms and try to figure out what in heaven's name the man does do, except he is always there. He's a wonderful friend. Whenever you kind of lean on him for, be it a charity, a civic event, a political event, whatever it is, it's his cause as well as your cause. And I must tell you, he's a great friend. You're always here for Whittier Street and for the Whittier Street Health Care Center. And Flash, for being here and providing your friendship, I really do simply appreciate it. Jimmy Tingle and I have known each other since the days of the back streets of Cambridge. He is a great success in his own right. And I must tell you, Jimmy, you're always there for us as well. For the 2 guys that didn't speak, John Broder and Smythe. It's Peter Smith. He went to Holy Cross. If he went to Holy Cross, if he'd gone to BC, it would have been Smith. It's Peter Smythe. When we asked for people to come and kind of provide some leadership to get us over the top and get the money in-house that was going to make this evening a true success, these 2 guys, along with the whole cadre of people, came and did their work, and I simply want to say thank you. Everybody that came and stayed, I know you had nothing better to do on a Tuesday evening. I simply want to say thank you very, very much. It was a wonderful evening, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. I hope you did. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you for getting me off. You have to get me off the stage. I'll keep going.
Getting excited.
I was
getting excited. in touch soon. I'll call you when I get back. How's your son doing? Did you see my little one over there? Are you?